grandfather actually he came to South Africa as a Theravada Buddhist. Oh, sorry. Okay. So he started the KZN, the Natal Buddhist Society here. So what is a Theravada Buddhist? It's a very good question, and it's a question that I as well don't know too much about at the moment. And I was trying to find more about my culture and religion. So in KZN, the Natal Buddhist Society, they managed to get a monk. Barely speaks English, but he came from India, and then he came and stayed in Johannesburg in one of the monasteries. So I was hoping to learn from him a little bit about my religion and culture. It didn't work out too well. What happened was he ran off with one of the disciples after a meditation class, completely derobed and became a lay person. So I wanted to learn more about my roots, my culture, my history, because being a South African Indian, sometimes you feel like a tree without roots, an Indian movie without an anthem, or breakfast without dal. So for me, the highlight of my trip to India was our trip to the Ajanta caves, which is a Buddhist cave. It showcases the Theravada and Hinayana carvings, which were carved in the 2nd century. So some of us, the youth diaspora of India, we barely speak the Indian languages. We sometimes so far away removed from our Indian culture, and we struggle to relate both to our Indian culture and to the places where we are. So we like a lost generation almost. For me, like when I looked at those paintings in the Ajanta caves, and as I traced the outline of the Bodhisattva with my fingers, it sparked an inner curiosity within me regarding the land of my ancestors. So during our excursions and the workshops, we learned of the potential of India as a nation. India is an emergent superpower. It's one of the BRICS nations, and it will be one of the countries to carry our planet into the future. On one of my free days, I decided to visit an Indian hospital. In the hospital where I currently work in South Africa, our staff have meeting after meeting, discussing the amount of patients coming in, finding ways to cut the queues, and we see about 60 patients per day in my department. So imagine how they felt when I showed them a picture from the Indian hospital of 600 patients sitting there waiting to be seen, and all of them were seen. Nobody was sent home. I like that about the Indian health system. It recognizes that it's not first world, it's third world, and they found Indian solutions to Indian problems. And I think that's something the South African system should consider as well. We need to realize that we are not as well resourced as perhaps a first world country. And I think Dr. Reddy will be talking a little bit about medical tourism a bit later. And I can tell you, as a dentist, and I'm a dentist, if you were to take something like implants and the full rehabilitation, it will cost you like 100,000 to do it here. But if you go to India, it's 15,000. So medical tourism is definitely going to take off in a much bigger way in India, especially South Africans going over to India to get work done. So India cannot be experienced by picking up eat, pray, and love. India must be experienced through interacting with the people, a decay of beauty. India is an ancient land where humanity's plight is kind of condensed into a single area, a place where hope prevails. I would like to thank the Joburg Embassy, the Ministry for Overseas Indian Affairs, Symbiosis University, and all other stakeholders for offering me, and admittedly disconnected youth, an opportunity to have metaphorically, I visited my long-lost grandmother, to have heard the stories and want to use the lessons in my future.